While the daughter-in-law was away from home, the mother-in-law secretly kissed her newborn grandson, completely forgetting the daughter-in-law's instructions before leaving not to have close contact with the baby. She even took her grandson out to show off to her group of frail and sickly old friends. However, newborn babies have weak immune systems and cannot withstand such a virus-ridden environment. The mother-in-law was completely unaware of her mistake. The next day, the baby kept crying non-stop and even developed a high fever, falling into a deep coma. Although he was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment, the situation remained grim. Since the baby was already weak when he was born, and after being exposed to viruses during the outings, he developed sudden myocarditis and pneumonia, leaving him with only 10 months to live. Feeling deeply ashamed of her mistake, when her daughter-in-law became pregnant with her second child, the mother-in-law personally went to the launch event of a miracle drug to make up for her wrongdoing. She heard that drinking this medicine could lead to painless childbirth, and even allow one to get up and work immediately after giving birth. If she bought 2 bottles today, not only could she enjoy a 20% discount, but she would also receive 2 boxes of eggs as a gift. Influenced by the atmosphere at the event, the mother-in-law believed the lies of the fake experts, and decisively spent 8,000 yuan to buy 2 bottles, planning to surprise her daughter-in-law during childbirth. When the mother-in-law happily returned home with the eggs, her daughter-in-law immediately asked her where she got so many eggs from. To conceal the fact that she had bought the medicine, the mother-in-law lied, saying they were a gift from a supermarket promotion. The daughter-in-law repeatedly reminded her mother-in-law not to use eggs when cooking because she was allergic to eggs, and in severe cases, it could even cause shock. However, the mother-in-law ignored her words, thinking that her pampered daughter-in-law was too picky about food. So, when making pork ribs, she secretly added eggs. The daughter-in-law ate a whole plate of pork ribs without knowing, and the next second, she developed a rash on her body and went into anaphylactic shock on the spot. Fortunately, she was sent to the hospital in time, and temporarily out of life-threatening danger. When the daughter-in-law woke up, she knew that her mother-in-law had deliberately added eggs to the pork ribs, but considering that she just wanted her to nourish her body, she didn't make a big fuss about it. She just urged her not to be so stubborn again. Feeling guilty for her well-intentioned but poorly executed actions, the mother-in-law hurriedly took out the miracle drug she had bought earlier. She not only boasted about the efficacy of the drug on the spot, but also said that she had bought it from a divine doctor with great difficulty, and was eager for her daughter-in-law to take it. However, as highly educated individuals, the couple would never believe in such a drug of unknown origin. It was clear that the mother had been deceived, and they quickly persuaded her to throw the medicine away. At this time, a nurse who heard the argument also came in. After learning about the situation, she urged the family never to give pregnant women random medication, as it could affect the fetus and lead to regret later on. Seeing even the doctor advising against it, the mother-in-law had no choice but to reluctantly dispose of the medicine. However, as soon as she threw it away, she regretted it. After all, she had spent several thousand yuan to buy it, and with so many people buying the miracle drug at the event, it couldn't possibly be fake. So, after making sure no one was around, she secretly picked up the 2 bottles and returned to the hospital. Seeing her daughter-in-law sleeping soundly, the mother-in-law secretly poured the miracle drug into the porridge, unaware that her actions would make her regret it for the rest of her life.